Oh my gosh, it just keeps snowing and snowing. Another morning waking up to light snow and a fresh coating, about an inch of snow on the ground. Thanks. And all of that great wind blows our tarp right off the woodpile, so that's awesome. Hey guys, it's Amy from Colorado Mountain Living. So earlier this morning, we were expecting our electrician to come out and finish up the job inside. We're supposed to be working downstairs today, but it didn't turn out that way because earlier, like you saw in the last video, the corner of the driveway, we were filling in that trench and backfilling it with our super contraption of the big giant grizzly sifter. And our electrician knew about that. She knew we had backfilled and it was probably going to be a little bit soft. But the other thing that happened overnight was a couple inches of snow. Now, a couple inches of snow is not a big deal unless you already have some packed down snow from earlier. And what had happened was that it had gotten really, really slippery. So she was trying to come around a wide angle to make the curve around the driveway and have the momentum to go up, but ended up getting her back wheel slid off of the driveway corner and she was just spinning her tire. So what happened last week, similar thing, except she was trying to navigate the bridge, which was a lot more difficult. Her back tire went off, and I'd gone down with the tractor and towed her out. So I attempted to do the same thing this morning, except with the slipperiness factor, I wasn't as successful as I was before. So I wasn't able to catch all of that on video, unfortunately, and it probably would have been pretty entertaining. But I ended up getting the tractor stuck. The wheels wouldn't catch any traction on the hill, especially me trying to pull in reverse, trying to pull her vehicle out. I was able to get a couple of good tugs, but it wasn't enough before my tire started to slip. And then once that happened, it was like nothing. The tractor was just spinning and turning, and who knew that little amount of snow would be that much of a problem. Eventually, she was able to rock her vehicle enough to kind of move it and get it unstuck. But because of the slide factor, there's a few factors actually. She did not have snow tires on the van. So it was just making everything a lot more slippery traction-wise. I just suggested that she should not attempt to come up the hill because I didn't want to have any kind of sliding off the driveway episode. There was another turn up here, anything that was turning. I just felt like the status of the snowpack was just too slippery and it wasn't worth the risk of her van going off road or flipping or whatever. So also the fact that her apprentice was sick today, so she was solo and wasn't going to be able to get as much work done. I thought, you know what, maybe we should just cancel and reschedule for another day. So we canceled, but we weren't able to reschedule because she doesn't know when she has free time next. She was able to kind of squeeze us in a day here and a day there because she stays so busy, but she wasn't sure when she could guarantee another date. So that's very unfortunate. And I got me kind of worried that maybe, that was not a great move. But I didn't really want to compromise the safety of, her safety or her van. And even as I was guiding her backing out of the driveway, there's still a little bit of a grade to the driveway around the corner, even before you get to it. And just backing up slowly, it was like her van was starting to slide. So she left to go get snow tires before she comes back, and she'll be back in touch. But a huge disappointment for us that we had to cancel our electric for today. What a bummer. And you'd think maybe a 1 or 2 foot snowstorm would justify that, but no, just a couple of inches of snow was enough to impede the progress again. So, she ended up leaving, and then I had to think about the tractor. Now, you don't see it right now. So let me show you how I got the tractor unstuck. I'll show you a little bit about the mess on the corner as well. So here is the aftermath of trying to get the electrician unstuck from the driveway. Lots of big ruts in the corner there, and now the tractor is significantly stuck. Not that, it's just that it's so icy, the way that the snow is packing, it's just creating a huge ice sheet and the wheels just keep spinning. So I'm gonna have to wait for that to melt. I don't really see any way out of that except for getting chains on the tires, but unfortunately that meant that our electrician is not able to work today. She also did not have her help with her, so We had to reschedule for another day. Don't know what that day that is yet, which really stinks because it could be another week out, maybe 2 weeks. But what a mess. Just, we need to get the driveway a little bit more secure so we can make sure big trucks can get up when they need to. It really won't stop snowing. So sometimes I just come out in the woods and walk. It's even getting kind of deep here. It's probably 3 or 4 inches. Vigo likes it. I actually like it. It's pretty, but not when it screws up all your plans. So I'm going to try an old trick from my Vermont days of trying to get some vehicles unstuck by using ashes as traction. I don't know how many ashes I got in this bucket, but I'm going to carry it down and try to use that for some traction, see if I can't get the tractor moved. So first thing I'm going to do is try to break up some of the ice with a shovel, and then I'm going to work on trying to get the ashes spread, see if that gives me any traction. I can get this out of here. believe I made it. Really did not think that was getting out of there. Just let me show you the mess. I was stuck pretty much 2 wheels off the driveway and 1 on the driveway. And if you just see how slick this is, this snow is like ice, and even like the dirt doesn't really seem to do anything about it. So kind of a miracle to decide to, I figured going forward was the best course of action. And thank God there's still a little bit of dirt in the trench right on the very corner here. As you can see, there's none in here, but enough where I could take the front wheel of the tractor right here and make that corner. Because you can see this corner is where the electrician got stuck. Although I didn't think that was a very, very big risk for the tractor. So I was able to turn it around. But interestingly, coming back, I started spinning up on this hill and sliding backwards and spinning tires forwards at the same time. That was a scary moment. And of course, I'm thinking, while I'm going backwards on the tractor, should I steer into the field or should I steer into the ditch? Because if I keep sliding, I'm definitely going to end up somewhere. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to get any traction at all. So my strategy was, as I was sliding, I tried to steer forward more towards off the edge of the driveway, hoping I could grab some traction with some rocks and some loose dirt there, and I was successful with that. So I was able to grab on and pull myself out of that slide because that was kind of scary. And you can see how very little snow there is. I mean, look how deep these tracks are. What is that, like an inch? It's probably a few inches of very, very packed snow underneath. Again, I don't know if the ashes helped or not, but thanks, Mom, for teaching me that tip. So let me show you up here. This is where I started sliding. So kind of caught right there, dug into a little bit of dirt and was able to steer over and grip on. But look how slippery. That is about as slick as a sheet of ice. And it was sad because I was so close. I was right up here to the top of the hill when I started sliding. I thought, uh-oh, this could be the end of me. This is how I go. But nope, lived to tell another story of Colorado mountain living. So lessons learned, let's see. We definitely need chains on the tractor tire. So that might be our next purchase. And then, it's a big hill. So maybe a way to save cost is to get them for the front tires if we can't afford the back tire chains right now. So that's sort of what today ended up being about, another winter weather day. And I just didn't feel comfortable having the electrician get the van up here and then have the risk of the vehicle just sliding around the driveway. It just didn't seem safe or practical. Plus, she was short her apprentice today, so it wouldn't have really been a full day's worth of work. As much as I hate to lose a full day of getting our electric done, I just felt like that was the best course of action. Just as slippery and as slick as the snow was on top of the driveway just seemed like a recipe for disaster. And we're both fortunate that she was safe. Her vehicle didn't need to be towed. The tractor came out. Nobody flipped. Nobody got hurt. Definitely could have been a different story under any circumstances. Even like a 1/4 inch of ice could have caused something like that. But always smart to be well prepared with the right equipment. So I think getting chains for the tractor is going to be helpful because you're not always able to plow every 2 inches, you know. Sometimes we're not going to be able to plow that much. And if something happens where someone's vehicle gets stuck, you know, it's nice to be able to count on the tractor. So certainly bummed that we're not getting forward on our electric. And the unfortunate part was that the electrician didn't know the next available date should be available. So I don't know if that means 1 week out or 2 weeks out, or if she can come back in a couple of days. She's going to get new tires on her tractor, but in the meantime, we're going to work on getting that corner of the driveway more built up and not as soft, maybe throw a lot more rocks down, because that's not just hazardous for her vehicle, but anybody else with a large vehicle as well. So hopefully, I'm really hoping with this weather break that's forecasted, as long as it doesn't keep snowing up here, that we're going to have some sunny days to help really melt some of the snow so we can really work on finishing up the trench backfill and toughening up the driveway and really hopefully getting our utilities finished up. We did get a word on the well. They haven't looked at our permit yet. That's really discouraging because it's been an entire month, but they said it could take 4 to 6 weeks for them to review it. And then hopefully in the next 2 weeks, a lot of things could happen. We're getting our plumbing started. We're going to be hearing back from the well permit, hopefully. And hopefully we'll hear back from the electrician that she'll be able to find a day in her schedule, busy schedule, to squeeze us in to wrap it up. She thinks another day, maybe a day and a half to finish. So that would be fantastic. It's just one of those big bummers of a day when you kind of get all these stressors thrown at you and realize that your progress is slowing down once again because of the weather, but that's what we signed up for. You know, living up here is weather like this can happen anytime. It can happen no matter what the forecast says, and it can be just 1 or 2 inches of snow to ruin everything. It doesn't have to be a 1 to 2 foot dump of a blizzard. So with the way that our driveway is, it doesn't take much to put a wrench in things, and that's what we're dealing with. So try to take a deep breath and think maybe next week will be better. Maybe we'll get some great news from the plumber. Maybe it'll just take him a few days to finish up. Maybe I'm trying to envision some really positive stuff, like the electrician finishing up. We can get our insulation scheduled. We'll get our framing inspection done. That would be fantastic. So I hope you guys keep rooting for us. We are definitely needing some support right now. At least I am. Maybe Ryan. Thanks for checking in and seeing what this was all about, guys. We'll see you next time at the next video. Hope to give you an update on the electric and the plumbing and the well and the job. Still waiting to hear about the job. So I really hope that comes to a wrap soon. So anyway, it's still snowing. It's one of those days, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.